Okay, 555 replacement on the breakout board. What I've done is I've taken the 555 off the board and put down an 8-pin dip socket, and then this guy slides right down into that socket as a direct replacement. I'm going to take it through its paces and show you how to program it, and as I do that, I'll show you how that affects the paddle on the screen. So first thing I'm going to do is adjust this and put it into programming mode. Pin 4, when you select pin 4 and set that on, the green LED will flash. While it's flashing, nothing's being programmed, and so you have a few seconds to set the dip switch settings for the next parameter that you want to program. So right now we're in programming mode, and we're adjusting the delay. There's a little pot on the right hand side here. Put your screwdriver in there, and you can turn it counterclockwise and clockwise. Clockwise is maximum, of course counterclockwise is minimum, and I'll show you what that looks like on the scope. Here we're going to see what the adjustments look like on the scope. The top signal is your pad enable signal that comes into the 555 replacement, and it's active low. Every time it goes low, it's going to reset the 555, and on each reset, the 555 is going to output a pulse on the output pin 3, which you're going to see. That's the lower signal right there. And so for the first adjustment, this is going to be the delay, and as you turn the pot clockwise, it's going to set the position of the output pulse. Now for breakout, you don't want any delay at all, so we're going to set it all the way counterclockwise, all the way to 0. Adjusting the delay, you want to turn the adjustment pot all the way counterclockwise for breakout. Next we'll set position 3 to on, and after that brief delay, when the light goes solid, we're going to start adjusting the offset. The offset is going to set the paddle position on the screen. Turn the pot clockwise, and it's going to give you a wider pulse or a narrower pulse to start out with. So I'm going to set it about there. That's going to be the correct position on the screen. Now, as the pot, as the control pot for the paddle is turned and adjust the voltage, you're going to see that increase as well. So I'm adjusting the paddle input right now. So that's going to move your paddle across the screen. Offset. This is going to be your primary control to determine where on the screen the paddle is going to start. And so we're going to start on the far right of the screen. Just like that. Okay, good. Okay, next we're going to turn position 2 to the on position. There we go. Now you might be thinking right now, do I need an oscilloscope to adjust this thing? Not really. I'm just showing you what's happening behind the scenes here. Really what you would be doing is looking at the game screen as you're making each one of these adjustments and adjusting the paddle position and whatnot accordingly. So for this measurement, this is the gain measurement, and what that's going to do is it's going to either increase or decrease the amount of change per turning of the paddle input knob. So as you turn the paddle input knob, if you have a lot of gain, it's going to make the paddle move faster across the screen. If you have, less gain, it's going to move a little bit slower. And so what we're going to do is turn the potentiometer clockwise here until we get a decent amount of gain, and that should be about right. Gain input. This is going to determine how far the paddle moves when you move the control knob on the control panel. So we're going to set that accordingly. Okay, now we're going to move position 1 to on, and that's going to put us into edge detect mode. This adjustment determines which edge the pad enable signal is recognized. By turning the potentiometer all the way counterclockwise, the 555 circuit is going to trigger on the falling edge of the pad enable signal. And if you turn the control all the way clockwise, you'll see the output shifted a little bit there. Now it's triggering on the rising edge of the pad enable signal. But you can see on the scope there, the pad enable signal, that's the top signal. That pulse is really thin, really quick. So, you know, either setting should be fine for Breakout. Might be different for other games. I don't know. But for Breakout, either one should be fine. Pad enable sense adjustment. You want to set this one all the way clockwise. We're going to adjust the last parameter by turning position to the off position. And that's going to help us adjust the sense of the output signal. And here we're going to see the output signal either be active high or active low. If you turn the control pot all the way counterclockwise, it's going to be active low. If you turn it all the way clockwise, it's going to shift, and now it's going to be active high. For Breakout, you want it to be active high, so for this adjustment, turn the knob all the way clockwise. Output sense, you want to turn this one all the way clockwise as well. So here's something interesting. You notice on the output waveform, that's the one on the bottom, that the pulse width kind of moves a little bit. It's kind of a little bit jittery. That's because the output is not set in an interrupt routine. It's set just generally in the code, and so you get a little bit of indeterminate time there between the edges. But actually, that turns out to be pretty cool on the game itself. Because of the jittering outputs, you'll see that the paddle kind of wavers and moves around a little bit. That's just kind of like the original design was. It wasn't completely stable, and so it gives a little bit of that 1970s nostalgic feel to it. Here we are, 555 replacement. You can see the paddle moves nice and smooth, and that's very playable. So let's start this up and play around. Oh, it just missed. Oh well.